yourselves legends.
Hey, did you know I stream on Twitch? Well, you do now. I don't just stream Apex, though. I also explore the galaxy on No Man's Sky every once in a while. So if you like that sort of thing, drop by the channel and hit that follow button. And if you want to join Nerd Nation, hit that subscribe button. It's free with Amazon Prime. Never necessary, but if you do, you get a cool bot emote featuring everyone's favorite annoying psychopath, Claptrap. So head over to the channel, after this video, of course, link in the description, and make sure to turn on notifications so you don't ever miss a stream. Now back to the video.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Wait. Don't downvote, don't comment, don't do anything yet. Let's have a small conversation here, and by small, I mean a little long, so strap in, buddy. So I know as soon as you saw the thumbnail and the title for this video, you're probably just thinking, oh, just another platform war video, trying to get some free views. Da-da-da. Well, that's wrong, because this is a comparison video, and I'm trying to de-escalate the issue here, not gaslight anybody. So me personally, I'm just sick of console wars, platform wars, yada yada, okay? People need to stop. The last time I checked, we're all playing the same game, right? We're all having fun. We're all gamers. Like, even if you look down at people for playing Minecraft or, you know, Barney XYZ, I don't know. Like, just stop. We're all gamers, you know? Like there's enough crap going on that divides people and that, you know, creates classes of people for no reason. You don't need to be doing that in gaming, because gaming is supposed to be our, you know, kind of release and our escape from the real kind of crap that people go through on a day-to-day basis. And for this video, I had prepared like a pretty extensive, you know, pros and cons list for, you know, console versus PC or controller versus mouse and keyboard, if you want to look at it like that. And I had recorded it, and it was nearly an hour long, so I'm going to not give you an hour-long video. I'm going to skip a whole bunch of that stuff, and I'm going to go straight to the gameplay aspect, because the main thing is the aim assist question, and or comment and or concern, and I would like to hopefully get rid of some of the BS, because I'm kind of done with it. So when we look at controller, there's only two positives realistically for gameplay. Now you can talk about like the ergonomics of the hand and the lesser chance of getting carpal tunnel or tendonitis in your hands on console, because that is very true. The controllers are meant to be ergonomic, or as ergonomic as possible, to be comfortable for the user, and so there's less, you know, possibility of there being an injury. Just the way keyboards and mice are designed and the way that you're, you know, supposed to use them, it's just not good for your tendons. So, you know, that's already a negative on PC's side, but that's a whole different conversation that is backed up by science. So if you guys want to go, you know, research that sort of stuff, be my guest. But when we're talking about gameplay, the pro on the controller side is there are less buttons and or keys to memorize, and you can have multiple different play styles on controller versus keyboard and mouse is just keyboard and mouse. There's really no play style differences. I mean, you still click the same things in the same order. Like, yeah, somebody might play with their arms sideways for their keyboard versus straight forward or whatever, but I don't really know if I would call that a play style. Versus controller, you can play standard, you can play claw, you can play a whole bunch of different styles. No, you can play upside down if you really want to and get crazy with it, but that's a pro for gameplay. The other pro is aim assist, and just having a little bit higher of aim assist, and not even at all distances, at close range. Okay. Sure. That's what people complain about. Great. Okay, awesome. Let's look at the cons for a controller. You can't move while you're looting boxes in Apex, or any game that has a loot box or loot pool type thing. If you have insanely high sensitivity on these completely inaccurate sticks that are controlled essentially by rubber bands, you're going to have a very difficult time if you have too high of a sensitivity. If you can't keep up with the sensitivity, you're not hitting anything. You can't turn down the game's response to your movement like you can on PC. I mean, you can change your DPI and you can change your sensitivity. So, yeah, there's no perfectly like fine tuning. You have to find a certain sensitivity that you like. Even advanced look controls in Apex, like, yeah, they're great. I love the fact that they're there, but it still doesn't hold a candle to the fact that you can turn your DPI super far down and turn your sensitivity up on PC, so you have super high control over your aim, but you just move your arm further back and forth. Well, you can't really do that on console, you know. Then on console, typically your thumb controls your look, your aiming, your melee, your crouch, your interact, your reload, and interact does include your revives and reses and all that stuff because it is an interaction, your swapping weapons, and your jump with just your thumb. When in reality, you look at PC and with their typically left hand, instead of look, they control their character movement, which is less important than their aim in a shooter. Still very important, but slightly less so than aim. So they have their front, back, left, and right movement, right? They have their abilities, their reload, their swapping weapons, their jumping, their crouching, their meleeing, their interacting, their reloads, their everything else is on their left hand, right? But they have 5 fingers. Unless you're missing one, you have 5 fingers to do all of that with your left hand. Yeah, we have to do essentially all of that with our right hand, but really our right thumb. That's kind of crazy. The only thing that we don't include on that is our ability, because that is L1 typically. And they also ping with their left hand. We ping with our right index, typically, unless you change it. But, yeah. You can still aim while you reload. You can jump while you reload. Much easier. You can click them at the same time. You can move, jump, reload, and turn, which means you can sprint, slide, jump into a 180 while reloading, and immediately afterwards ADSing, falling into a backward slide away from your enemy and shooting them on PC. I've never seen that happen on console. I can't even dream of attempting that on console. That's way too much to do it one time. You can't do it with a pair of thumbs. You know? Like, I can't be walking around looking like the Fonz. Expect to do all that with two thumbs. Just 2 thumbs. It doesn't work that way. And with the fact that the sticks are controlled by, or I should say the input of the sticks is rubber bands, essentially. It's just inaccurate. It's restrictive, and it's just not the best way to do it. Having that full range of motion on PC, where your elbow moves you left and right, you know, moves the mouse left and right, the majority of your left and right. Your wrist has kind of a rainbow pattern left and right, but also up and down because it's an omnidirectional joint. And then your fingers can go omnidirectional as well because they're fingers. They do things. You have a lot more control over your aim, especially when you include the difference of sensitivity and DPI, that you can just mess with it to where it's perfect for you, and console has a much harder time doing that. And if you talk about stock and not changing your sensitivity, console is very, very, very slow. Oh my god, if I played on stock sensitivity, I would lose my mind. I would actually go insane. I can't do it. I have to play on a higher sensitivity, just like most people do. Most people play on a higher sensitivity because of stuff like that. But then also another con for controller is inconsistent aim assist. People don't know this, but aim assist is not aimbot. Those are two different things. Aimbot means your bullets go where the program says your bullets go. Okay? Aim assist is assisting you in the recoil slightly so that your bullets aren't going all over to Timbuktu, and you can somewhat keep them on target with a little bit of gravitational tug, depending on your distance. Keywords, depending on your distance. The further you are away from your target, the less aim assist you get. Okay? Now, that coupled with the fact that the higher your zoom is on your particular weapon in Apex, you get less aim assist. So it compounds less aim assist if you use a higher zoom scope, like a 3x Ranger or a 4-8 or a 2-4 variable, and your target is like a mile away from you. You're not getting much aim assist on that, if at all. It's just going to fully drop off. It doesn't have the gravitational pull that you think it does. It doesn't work that way. It's not coded that way. That's the developer's, design. It's not my, just pulling it out of my ass here, because we don't get any aim assist on a Kraber at all. No. The 410 sight does, whether it's the DigiThread or not, does not have aim assist. And the 4.8 does not have aim assist at all either. The 2.4 has a very small amount, just like the 3x is a very small amount. The Bruiser has a kind of little medium amount, and then your 1x or your iron sights has the most, because typically you're going to be closer, and typically your target is going to move across the screen faster. So you need that extra reaction time. That's what aim assist is there for. Not for sniping somebody a mile away. So calm down with the whole, I just got beamed from, New York and I'm in LA kind of thing, because it doesn't happen unless there's, aimbot or some other weird assisting thing like a strike pack, which I do consider an aimbot, very much so, because it reduces the recoil. Well, guess what? If you put your dot on your enemy and you ain't got no recoil, the bullets are going where it's going. So that's just my little 2 cents on that. But if you look at the pros on the PC side, considering there's only 2 on the controller, there's a lot of pros on PC's side. I mean, again, they can move while looting boxes, which means it's harder for you to hit. You have hyper control over your sensitivity, which we don't have on console one bit. You have an actual consistent amount of aim assist, because you do still get aim assist. It is in your settings. You can turn it off if you want to, but a lot of you aren't going to be as good, You might still be able to do some things, but you're not going to be frying exactly how you were, because you do have aim assist. It's just a very consistent low amount of aim assist because of the fact that you have that hypersensitivity control. And you have a full range of motion, We do not. We have a thumb. We use essentially one joint and a stick off of that joint that sometimes bends a little bit. Like, we have two joints. You have, let's see, like a dozen if you include all the joints in your fingers. Maybe more. I'm not counting them. But you have a lot. So your aim assist is much lower, but it's a consistent much lower. You still also don't get any aim assist on a Kraber or a 4.8. But the fact that you have the same amount of aim assist means that you think you don't have it because it doesn't impact you. You don't have to learn multiple times with the same muscles for different distances, but also different sights at the same time, which compound their aim assist. Hurts my brain because it hurts all console players' brains. If we had just a stagnant amount, just like PC, it would be easier to work with. But it doesn't work that way on console. It doesn't work that way on controller, period. But the other pro, or main pro, is the fact that your left hand, utilizing all 5 of your fingers, does the majority of your stuff. Now, I'm not saying left hand versus right hand is better. I'm saying the fact that you have 5 fingers that all only need to really learn 2-3 inputs, give or take. That's more than learning like 7 with your thumb. That's pretty even distribution of, where you need to click with the little keys on the clickety-clack, And the only cons, really, are a couple more keys to learn, and you got to learn it on 5 fingers instead of just 1. And then the low amount of aim assist. But even all this, the simple fact that you can just drop items into the loot box from your inventory when looting somebody, and you're bouncing around like you're, high off an octane stim, crazier than all get out, and a console player can't hit you, but you can go in and out of the box at will and move around. That right there is just crazy. But then there's people that are complaining about how aim assist is so good, it's so overpowered. It's not. It's a helping tool put in place to help not only controller players but also PC players. Like I said, it still exists on PC, it's just not as strong at certain ranges, because it's a video game. And the only people that I find that are even complaining about this is just toxic people, or people that just wanna gaslight. And why? What's the point? I mean, yeah, people like drama, blah blah blah. I fucking hate drama so much, and I know I'm gonna catch drama for this video. I already know. But when you're comparing like 7 positives on PC's side to 2 negatives, and then like 7 negatives to 2 positives on controller, clearly somebody has the advantage here, and it's not the aim assist. The fact that a PC player can beam with an R99, which has some of the highest recoil in the game, across fragment. I'm not talking across the building that's a bridge, right? I'm saying from end-to-end fragment with essentially 0 recoil, and can crack a shield or even sometimes knock a player. But then they want to complain about some aim assist that is not aimbot. It's not auto aim. It's not wall hacks. It's not speed hacks. It's not none of that crap. And it's put in to help with the recoil with the crappy sticks that we have to play with on console. Because they got beamed at 301 range with a 301 that has arguably the least amount of recoil in the game and the easiest to control, besides possibly the Volt. Yeah, I don't understand why you want to complain. And there's so many people out here that think like I do, that we're done hearing your complaining and your bitching and your moaning. Stop being a little bitch boy fucking crybaby punk, alright? Just stop. There's no point. Because you look like a fucking fool. Like, oh, he's the controller player, so I lost to him. No, maybe you just got beamed at the right range and the guy corrected his recoil correctly and he just got you. Guess what? It's a fucking competitive shooter. They're gonna get you. You're not gonna win all the games. You're not gonna have infinite KD. You are not all powerful and all wise. You are not fucking Gandalf. You are not Yoda. You are not even R2-D2, motherfucker. You're C-3PO with your fucking stuck out hands. Deal with it. Sometimes they're gonna get you. So, in conclusion, before I lose my mind, I hope people see it my way that aim assist is not, that big of a positive. And even with this big list that I have here of pros and cons, I could have kept going and going and going. Like I said, I could have been here for an hour talking to the screen, and I decided to not do that because that's way too long of a video and nobody's going to sit here and watch it. But even when you look at the pros and cons to console, when you look at the economics of a console, it's still got 2 cons and 1 positive for what I thought of. And then, other things is a 2-2. Health is a 2-1. Okay, cool, there's a win. Controller has 2-1 pro versus con in health department. Huzzah. And durability is still 1 positive and 3 negatives. For console players, for controller, like, it doesn't make sense. When you look at PC and it's 2-1 positive to negative in economics, and it's a 2-2, it's again a wash in the other category, and it's a 2-1 in health. There are 2 good positive things about the health when it comes to PC. There's 2-1 in durability. It wins in durability. PC has a win in econ. It has a win in health. It has a win in durability. And it has a win in gameplay. If you want me to go through these things in another video, I can definitely do that. Leave a comment down below. But PC wins 4 out of 5 categories. What are you talking about? Aim assist is overpowered. PC has all the advantages. If you expect to literally never die to somebody that just happens to catch you, go play something else. Or just delete your Twitter and all this other crap, because those of us who are actually sitting here trying to have fun with the game and enjoy it with anybody on any platform are sick and tired of hearing the absolute poison that is coming from some of these creators mainly, but just people in general, because they pick up on that toxicity because they live in drama and they're seeping in it, and I don't get it. The toxicity of that just needs to stop, because there's no point. Just drop it. That's all I'm asking. Just drop it, because aim assist is not that strong. It's not aimbot. If you make the distinction like all the rest of us, FPS players out here can do after playing for, hell, I've played for like 15 years in competitive shooters. I can tell when someone's cheating. I know, because I've been playing these games for too long. I know what cheats look like. I know what they feel like. I know what they sound like. I know cheats when I see them. I'm not an idiot. Same thing with PC players. You guys know cheating when you see it. If you see somebody beam you with like an RE45 across fragment or a 99, call it out for what it is. Don't say controller player. Just because you got beat up close. Maybe the guy hit more shots than you. Maybe his DPS was higher. Maybe he had a couple headshots thrown in there and you were just shooting all bodies. But guess what? That happens the other way around too, because I've seen some people 50 health or less take down a full red shield, front shield Gibraltar with one clip of an R99. So it can happen. You're gonna get got. Alright? There's no way around that. It's just gonna happen sometimes. But if you get cheated on, call it out. But call it out correctly. That's all I ask. You know, I'm not gonna bore you guys for any longer. I'm kind of done talking anyway. I'm probably gonna have no voice when I go into work today. So if you guys enjoyed the video in one way or another, go ahead, slap that like. If you thought that I'm just talking out of my ass, hit the dislike. Go for it, bro. Impressions, gimme, gimme, gimme. Give me all of them. Throw some comments down below. Subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe, then subscribe again. I want impressions, baby. Gimme, 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 gimme. But also, if you guys think that I seem like I'm not a crazy person and you guys want to check me out on Twitch, go ahead and click that link down below for all my socials. That'll give you all my direct links. And go ahead and hit that second link for any cool, awesome other content creators that I'm involved with and that I have connections with, whether or not I watch them myself or I interact with them, or, you know, they're just friends of mine. Cool people. Click that second link in the bio. If you guys want 10% off of anything at gamerware.com, use code Casper at checkout. Direct link in the description down below, and a whole bunch of other stuff down there for you. Thank you guys for coming, checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.